Guys, what's up? This is week 20 wrap up for you guys. Last week, if you haven't seen, I put 2 weeks worth of vlogs together into one vlog for last week. Released that yesterday on Sunday. And then I'm just gonna make this real quick. Let's just get through these books. I read a good amount last week. But you know, spring cleaning and things. Yeah. I'm coming along so well with my book room, except for I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm probably just gonna like either box up or get rid of, or don't know exactly what's going on with it. But yeah, there's that. So let's get into the books that I did read last week. I started off the week by finishing The Bet, which is Winslow Brothers #1 by Max Monroe, placing this in rom-com, giving it 3.5 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. Had this as an audiobook. It was also part of my KU project. I got it out of Kindle Unlimited. And this follows Jude and Sophie. I really like the beginning of the story, but nearing the end, it kind of fell off for me, the middle. So we have Jude, who is a party promoter, and he just can't seem to step away from a bet. He also has family. His family went to a tarot card reader, and she gave each one of the brothers sort of a little thing. And Jude's ended up being about a bet, betting on love and things like that. And then we have Sophie, who is the identical twin to the bride-to-be for the bachelorette party that ends up going into one of the bars that Jude promotes. And Sophie ends up switching with her sister, and Max ends up being takes on the bet of being the exotic dancer for their party, and they feel this spark and connection and things like that. I loved that whole meet cute thing going on. But then by the middle of it, I was just kind of fell off, and the ending kind of lost me as well. And it just kind of lackluster. I am interested in knowing more about the other brothers because they were mentioned, like I said, throughout the story. But at the same time, it was like, okay. The next book that I finished was Anarchy, which is by Carmel Rhodes, placing this in dark romance taboo. Giving it 3.5 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Had this as through KU. I'm not sure if it's still in KU or not, but that's how I received it. Part of my KU project. This is a Black author, and there are content warnings for doctor-patient inappropriateness, I guess you could say, drug use, addiction, lots of other really kind of taboo sort of subjects. So I believe Carmel she put a trigger warning page or a warning page in the beginning of the book. I can't remember exactly, but we have Damon, who is also known as Coop. He is a psychiatrist, and we meet him in the opening of the book, and we find out that he has a drug addiction, and he thinks he's a god, and a god has a whole god complex, narcissistic, things like that. But he's also a doctor, and he's treating patients, and whoo. So I was a little turned off by him. He has 2 different faces, has a dragon, things like that. He meets Simone at this conference that he is at a bar, and she is a best-selling author, and the 2 of them entangle, and then in the prologue, I guess you could say, and then we find out that Simone gets admitted to the hospital in which Damon is a doctor at, and starts being under his care. There's a lot of twists and turns that end up happening. Like I said, I was a little turned off by the whole doctor-patient thing because it was real dark. It was real dark. There's a lot of things that could possibly be triggering in this. So go in lightly, or find other reviews that have like the listing of the triggers and things like that. But yeah, in the end, I really enjoyed it. I like the twists and turns that Carmel ended up taking, and I would recommend this book for some of my dark romance readers, but not for the people that don't like that type of taboo type subject matter in their books. So yeah, there's that. Then I read Sin and Chocolate. This is Demigods of San Francisco, book number 1 by K.F. Breene, placing this in fantasy, or actually it might be under sci-fi, I'm not exactly sure. Giving it 4 stars, giving it 2 Steam fans. Had this as an audiobook and got it through KU as part of my KU project, as well as my spring Kindle challenge that's going on. One of their things was to pick a sci-fi book, and then I went to the list that they had, and this was one of them, so I picked it up. We have Alexis and we have Kieran, and Alexis is a magical being that is living sort of in the in-between. She has 2 kids that are her wards, and one is magical, one is non-magical, and they live in the in-between. We don't get to find out what her magical things, what she does for magic, until well into the story. The beginning of the book really kind of annoyed me. It is a slow burn between Alexis and Kieran, and her constant like inner monologue of how much she doesn't have money and how the magical people are the rich people and things like that. Well, they haven't. So Alexis and Kieran have a meet cute where he almost hits her with his high-priced sports car, and come to find out, he ends up feeling her magic, because he's also magical, and he is the son of the current demigod or god of this area of San Francisco. And yeah, there's lots of twists and turns in this. In the end, it really did grab me. There are 6 books in this series, and I have been told that only the first 3 books are about Alexis and Kieran, and then the other 3 books are about other people, which I'm very excited about, because there were some other characters that were introduced in this story that I was like, oh, I would love to hear their story. And I was a little worried that, being that it was 6 books, that Kieran and Alexis's story would get dry and dragged on, but I'm assured that that is not the case. So really excited to dive into that even more. Then I read Luke, which is The Asshole Club number 2 by Tiffany Patterson. This is a dark romance, taboo again. And we have, I'm giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Had this as an ebook through KU. This is a Black author. And these characters are over 35, which I absolutely loved about this story. This also connects with the first book in the Asshole series, Pit, but you don't have to read that book to grasp and understand and enjoy this story. So we have Luke, who is a MMA fighter, and he lost his trainer about a year ago, and Sid comes in and she's like, I'm gonna go ahead and train you. I would like to be your trainer. She doesn't take no for an answer, and she ends up training him. The 2 of them end up tangling and things like that. Now, there are some things that Luke does that I was not happy about. He most definitely is a major playboy throughout most of the story, and is trying to fuck Sid out of his system throughout the story, and that kind of turned me off a little bit. But overall, in the end, I really did love the way that Sid and Luke ended up interacting and coming together and things like that. There are content warnings for grief and prostitution, and well, womanizing, not prostitution. Well, there's prostitution, but womanizing throughout the story. And like I said, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next book, which is written by a different author in this series. And come to find out, there's about 6 or 7 books in this series as well, written by different authors. So I'm super excited to, continue on with the series. Then the final book that I finished reading last week was This Is Forever. This is number 4, not number 1, number 4, by Natasha Madison. I've been making my way through this series. It's a sports romance series about the Stone family, I believe it is. So I'm giving this one 4.5 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. Had this as an audiobook through my Hoopla, so I didn't want that credit to go away, so I went ahead and read it. And there are content warnings for drug addiction, young pregnancy, sort of an imbalance of rich and poor in this situation, debt and things like that. So we have Caroline, who is a single mother. Her son is a hockey player. He's only 8 years old. He ends up going to Justin's summer camp, hockey summer camp, and they have like this electric sort of connection when they first meet. Caroline and Justin, by the way. Justin wants to reach out and like help her. He wants to help all the people through the summer program, which you really get to see, and I really love that. There was this like villain character in the beginning of the book that just kind of fell off, and I was like, okay, that was really weird. Don't really see her, but again, I kind of figured that she might be like a little wrench later on, but come to find out, the wrench was actually Caroline's past coming up, and some, you know, dealing with addiction and things like that. The only reason I'm downgrading it from a 5-star book to a 4.5-star book is because there were some Christian views in there that were just kind of caught me off guard. I don't mind it. It wasn't heavy-handed in any way, but it just kind of threw me out of the story with some of the conversation. But it's still along the same lines that Natasha has been dealing with when it comes to like drug addiction and dealing with addicts and things like that. So I'm really interested to read the first series that this series was spun off from, and then the next series of hockey player romances as well. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading First Semester by QB Tyler, Second Semester by QB Tyler, How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Cherie Jones, Obsessed by Kim Loraine, and I have an arc for The Perfect Guy by Fabiola Francisco. Yay! So excited. So hope you guys enjoyed that. What are you guys reading right now? And you know, let's discuss it down in the comment section. I think that's it. Thank you guys for joining me here on Patreon, and I greatly appreciate your patronage. I hope you guys noticed that I did put in a new slide for you guys on my regular YouTube stuff, so that will become a staple at the end of the videos now, thanking you guys for being patrons. Other than that, I will see you guys in another video.